Hi there everyone, welcome to my channel Aqualuna73. This is not going to be a reading, okay? This is a video for the divine female that I said I was going to make. And I also said I was going to make a signs and synchronicities, or how do you pronounce that word, video. So I'm just going to do both of them in one. Okay, so let's start. Hi to everyone, thank you for being here. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So we're going to discuss this dream that I spoke about. I made a post, I think it was a week ago. I made a post that I was going to make this video about a dream that I had of the Pythoness, or the Oracle, or the, however you want to say this, okay, of not Pythia, the Oracle of Delphi. I mean the Oracle of Libya, sorry. So I had a dream about her, and I said that there were several things that she was discussing with me, and there are certain things that she wanted me to mention in a video, okay? So I decided I was going to make this video for the divine female, okay? So the first thing is, before I get to that, this is like the intro. Before I get into this video, I feel very uncomfortable doing this video, and I'm going to be honest, okay? Because I don't like to label myself certain things, or say this is what I am and this is how things are, and I don't want to be rigid in that regard, okay? Most of the things that I'm going to discuss, excuse me, with you, is some of my personal experiences that I had. Excuse my hands are looking very ugly, okay? Like I said, I was like resting my hands for healing my hands. Anyway, I was very busy the past few months. Anyway, so well, where was I? So I don't want you, I don't know who's going to watch this video. I know there are several people that watch these videos. They might agree with some of my views and others not, okay? This is, this video is not here to force someone into a certain specific set of beliefs. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's experiences are different. How they experience God, the universe, the awakening that they had, and how they started on this spiritual journey is going to be different for everyone, okay? So I'm not telling you my experiences so that you can measure up to my experiences, or I'm not mentioning this to make you feel inadequate or make you feel like you're not a divine female, okay? This is not what this video is for. This video is basically just to explain my experiences that I had since I started my journey, okay, which was years ago, even before I started this YouTube channel, okay? I was already on this journey of self-discovery, I would say. So, okay, the first thing I hear is somebody asking me, when did your journey of self-discovery start? My journey of self-discovery probably started like 15 years ago, okay? Or yeah, you can say 15 years ago, when my kids were very small. There are certain things, especially when you become a parent, that you experience, okay? But I wouldn't say it necessarily started there. If you are a divine female, or if you see yourself as a divine female, it's not something that happens overnight. It's not something that you wake up or you had some type of experience like an epiphany and now you're a divine female. I don't feel this is how it works, okay? A divine female, I think, is a process of an individual of discovering themselves and improving themselves, discovering something new, improving, or or shedding, okay, shedding of layers of old indoctrinated belief systems, things that were passed on from generation to generation, from mother to daughter, and so forth. Okay, so it's almost like some people will consider it as a generational curse breaker. Some people will consider it as, I don't know. Okay, this is not how I see it. I don't see it like that at all. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details as how I see a divine female. I'm just going to explain to you my experiences, and I am going to um, also tell you that your experiences is not going to be similar to mine. Okay. So before I start with the first point, I first want to mention a few months ago. Okay, there was not a few months. This is a lie. I have been doing tarot for a very long time. If you watched my introduction video, I told you that my introduction to tarot started when I was still very young, a child to be honest. My mom took me to work. Okay, she was a nurse. She worked at an old age home. And this old age home was mostly for retired professors, because the town where this old age home was in was and at the back of a university. Okay, so there were retired teachers, doctors, professors, and very wealthy people, because it's a retirement home for wealthy people. And there was this one lady. Okay, I used to go with my mom, and she used to take me on night shift. And there was this one lady that she used to leave me with at night in her flat at the old age home, because some old age homes have independent flats where people can live, that can still look after themselves, okay, or cook their own food, etc. So I used to sit with this lady, and she introduced me to this craft, I would say. Okay, she eventually also left my mom some mementos when she died, like 2 rings, which my mom, I don't have the one ring. Let's see. Just want to show you the one ring. I want to show you the one ring. Where is it? I usually wear this ring. Okay, this ring. Okay, it's a aquamarine stone. It's silver. It's very beautiful. It's like a vintage ring. Okay, I've had this for years. My mom gave it to me. This woman gave it to my mom. Okay, this old lady. The other ring, unfortunately, was stolen. It had a turquoise stone in it, and many years ago, when the ring got stolen, they broke into my house. And I'm not going to divulge as to how this thing was stolen, but it was somebody I knew. And I used to take care of kids, okay, street kids. And one of these, not only street kids, but people whose kids they were not capable to take care of their kids, and I would like foster. Okay, I used to foster. Okay. And one of the children stole the ring, okay, that I fostered. But anyway, that being said, I'm not going to go into detail. So I'm going to go, what did I want to say? I think that's enough. That's the intro basically. Okay. Don't mind me, okay, I'm just going to drink water every now and then. So the first thing is, that was the introduction. The first thing is your name. You ask yourself, what the hell? What do you mean with your name? Okay, as a divine female, everybody gets a spiritual name. Okay, and I don't know if people are fully aware of the fact that this happens, or that you're supposed to have a spiritual name. Okay, your spiritual name is not something necessarily that you get when you're a child. You can be a grown-up and you can still get your spiritual name. Okay, so some people get several spiritual names, some only have one. I have several spiritual names. Okay, how do you get these spiritual names? Usually what happens is, in my experience, this is what happened to me. Okay, As a child, my first experience that I had, I would say supernatural experience, was when I had a near-death experience, okay? I had a near-death experience when I was a child. I was probably 14 years old. I wouldn't say accidentally, I drank some medicine. I had a cold, I drank some medicine, and there was stuff that I was allergic to, and okay, the rest is history. I'm still alive. Okay, I could have been dead, but I'm still alive. It was cough medicine, and there was something in the cough medicine that I was allergic to. Okay, my mom didn't know it, neither did I. But eventually I found out that I was allergic to certain things, okay? And it usually, when I get this, it affects my respiratory system. In other words, I can't breathe and I swell up. Okay, I know I'm already fat, but then I swell up basically. But anyway, that's the first experience. I wouldn't say the first, the second. The first experience, I was probably 10 years old. Okay, I had a dream. I'm not going to say what I dreamed. Okay, I had a dream. It was like a spiritual dream. We had an encounter with a being, okay, that spoke to me. And this being invited me, and this being was Jesus, okay. This being came in the form of Jesus in a dream to me, okay. And he invited me, and like literally I went on a walk with him and I spoke to him in this dream, okay. um Anyway, I'm not going to divulge as to the details what transpired in this dream. I was probably just 10 years old when this occurred. I don't know, maybe this experience that I had was because I was brought up in an extremely religious family. This is probably why I had this dream, but that's beside the point. The stuff that he said to me is not stuff that I'm going to tell you. It's personal, okay? So there are certain things that happen to you, okay, near-death experiences, or you maybe have dreams, okay, or maybe you have dreams and then suddenly these specific dreams that you dream, it actually happens in reality, okay. It's almost like you can predict certain things, okay. That's the one thing. Okay, so like I said, I have several names. The other thing I also want to mention is I've noticed since I was on YouTube that there are certain people, when they have their names, they say, for instance, they have a channel and then they name their channel. My name is not, Aqualuna is not my spiritual name. It's just a name that I chose for my channel, but that's not my spiritual name. And I think I need to mention this when I say, um, usually when you start to open or realize the fact that you're a divine female is when there are certain energies. They say, like Einstein said, energy cannot die. It always is transformed into something else, okay. So when a person's energy, or when a person dies, um in the spiritual world, they would call that person's soul their chi in some cultures, okay. So this person's chi doesn't die. It has to, it does continue. So your soul, okay. I've watched a few videos where people made videos of them seeing, I don't know if it's true, okay. A person made a video and the camera was on the whole night, and she said she could see how soul was leaving her body, almost like she was astral projecting or something to that effect. And then it just came back and she woke up. Okay, so I think these things are possible. So what am I trying to say with the name here? Excuse me. When you receive your name, it's not something that you should divulge to other people. I feel when you have your spiritual name, you need to be very careful as to who you tell what your spiritual name is, because your spiritual name is very powerful. It carries a certain specific energy, and that specific energy is attached to other supernatural energies. And why I say this is I've already spoken to you about me communicating with, okay, I don't want to scare people when I say this, okay, because I receive my messages in several ways, okay, but I prefer not to receive. Lots of people that do tarot, or yeah, mostly tarot, they receive their messages through downloads, by maybe through a movie, um, or whatever, okay, mostly through movies or songs. But me, I wouldn't say I receive it through music. I would say the message, I mean, the energies are already there, because the music is already there. It was always there. It's just, the music is just a means for you to relay a message so that people can understand it. In other words, it's an easy way for the universe to communicate the specific message that you need to relay to someone else, okay? But when it comes to my personal experiences and my personal downloads for myself, not other people, I receive my messages. I don't receive it through music or watching movies or stuff like that. It's totally different. It's my experiences is totally independent from other people's opinion, a movie, a song, or whatever, because I actually go into my room and I start to meditate, and I cut myself off from anybody and everybody. And this is something that I do daily, okay, for hours on end. So some people call it prayer, okay, other people will sit in a corner and then other people dance. Like, for instance, if you look at the Sufis, they had this they were also very spiritual, and what they did, they had this dance, okay, where they wore these dresses and they were twirling, and they said while they were doing this, it's almost like they had this out of body experience, okay, almost like somebody taking a psychedelic trip, okay, but these people are not high, basically. They, I don't know, maybe they get drunk in the head from twirling or that, I don't know what to say. But okay, everybody's experience is different, okay? So I want to emphasize the fact that you need to be careful as to who you express your name to, because your name is powerful. It has energy. People can use it against you. They can chant on it. They can, so you need to be careful. You have your birth name. Yeah, and you people change their names. I'm not talking about the person that changed their name, their birth name. I'm talking about a spiritual name that you got, either in a dream, you had like a near-death experience and you got this name, but you shouldn't divulge this name to anybody, okay, except the people that you think are really close to you and that you can trust. Okay, that's the first thing. How did I get my name? Like I said, I have several, okay, several names. This is at point number 2 on the page here. I have several names, and I have several energies attached to the names that I have. These people that are attached are people that have already passed on. It's not people that are here, but I do communicate. I do get downloads in the form of things that pop up into my head, or maybe, well, it can be anything. Maybe it's a movie. Okay, the movie would, a scene, okay, I would just randomly think of a scene. But to be honest, these things are stuff that I've seen a long time ago. I haven't watched a movie, or I haven't watched television. I don't own a television, by the way. I, the people that live with me do own televisions, but I don't own one. I don't watch television, and I haven't watched television in years, okay, because, well, for several reasons, my own personal reasons. I said the other day that Facebook was one of the most gunkiest places that you could get, okay, because you get all sorts of characters there, good and not so good. but because of my business I have to be there, because it's probably one of the most easiest way to advertise is through Facebook, okay, because a lot of people are on Facebook. So several names is the second one. Number 3, okay, number 3 is don't talk or divulge it to anyone. Don't do that, because like I said, it's very important that you don't do it. And okay, as I said, I was going to talk about the dream, and this is exactly what she said in the dream. Do not divulge this type of information to anyone. Okay, like I said before I started, when I started the video, I was going to talk about the dream, but I was going to talk about what she said to me in the dream. And this is the things that she said that I needed to mention. I don't know if people are aware of the fact that they have, or divine females are aware of the fact that they receive. I know some of them are, but not all of them. Okay. The other thing I also want to mention is there is a specific tarot reader. I've watched her readings for, I know I've shared a few tarot readers on YouTube, on my personal page, people that I've watched, and I found interesting the readings. Okay, so there was this one specific tarot reader. I've been watching her tarot readings for years, and even before I actually came onto YouTube to actually come and have my own channel, I used to watch her readings. And I'm not going to mention her because I don't want to put her on the spot. She's one of and she's still my ultimate favorite tarot reader. She has a very calm demeanor. She's a very peaceful, very kind individual. And one day she mentioned about the name. Okay, and I was like, oh, I thought I was the only one. And about the spiritual name. I don't know what her spiritual name is. And she spoke about, she mentioned in one of her readings, she mentioned she was 9 years old when she got her name, okay? And I was approximately 19 years old the first time, okay? Like I said, I have several. But one thing that she mentioned that like shook me was about the first time that she experienced that she got her name is she felt almost like someone scribbling on her arm, like almost like an object, but the object was like scribbling something on her arm. But I don't know. I don't know if she's going to watch this, but my daughter and my mom have a birthmark on the arm on the same side, and it looks similar, but I don't. So it skipped a generation, okay? This birthmark skipped a generation, because if you look at the birthmark, it looks like a burn mark. And a lot of people ask her, where did you burn yourself? But she didn't burn herself. It's a birthmark. And my mom has the exact same birthmark on the arm here. Okay, so I don't have it, but my daughter has it and my mother has it. And the thing that stood out for me, what she said, is this feeling of someone, and this is exactly what happened to me the first time. Every time I get my name, it's almost like I feel like it's almost like it's like somebody getting a tattoo, okay, like needles. I don't know what tattoo feels. I don't have tattoos, but I do know what it feels like to have a needle in your skin, okay? So it feels like prickling, okay, and it's actually not very comfortable. It hurts, not that much, but it does feel. But this is exactly the feeling that I got. Exactly the same. It feels like somebody carving something in your arm when you get your name, okay? This is my experience also that I had, okay? The second time I got my second name, I would say, and I felt this feeling of somebody like carving something into my arm. It's almost, I tried to figure out what it was, that the feeling, if it like was a pattern or something, okay, but I don't know what. But I couldn't make it out because I don't understand. It didn't feel like a normal number or a normal, you know, alphabetic number or normal number like 1 to 10. It felt like something totally different. So I don't want to scare you, okay? I wasn't scared when this happened. There's nothing strange about this. If you want to see it that way, be my guest. I don't care. If you think this is a devil thing, I don't care either about that. But it's not. I just want to place emphasis on this, okay? Um, because sometimes people tend to come to you and, oh, devil this and devil this. You talk to God, okay? I talk to God, and people are going to tell you, okay, if you talk to God, you're crazy. So don't dismiss my experience with God and say it's from some other entity because you believe in God and you have the specific set of beliefs. God and this specific source that we call God is there for everyone. Okay, it's not only there for you. So anyway, let's continue. The next is ritual experience. I just told you about the ritual experience. Okay, it's this feeling that I got every time it happened. Even the dreams that I had of the first dream that I had of the appearance when Jesus appeared to me for the first time. Okay, the other times it wasn't him. Okay, there were other people. It was real, not real people, but people that used to live here on this plane, but they're not. Okay, they used to appear to me in dreams as well, and they spoke to me. Okay, the next is the seal. Excuse me, the seal. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go a bit controversial. I don't even know if I should mention this or not. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just ate before this. So there's this thing, okay. And I don't know if a lot of people, I think there's a lot of people that know. Like I said, I grew up in a very religious family, and I used to belong to a very I don't know how to say this. And I don't want people to think that I'm disrespectful or anything like that. It's just nothing to do with that. But I'm going to mention it. So when I used to belong to this church, I was still married back then. And me, my kids, and my now ex-husband, we were sealed with the Holy Spirit when we were in that church. Okay. And I can honestly say since that happened, a lot of my life also changed. Anyway, you get your first birth and then you get your second birth. I would say when I got sealed with the Holy Spirit, it was my second birth. Okay. A lot of the people in that specific church that received the sealing of the Holy Spirit received it. We all received it from an apostle. Okay. So the Bible speaks a lot about the seal. And when the Bible speaks about the seal, there's a lot in the Bible about the seal. Okay. When they speak about the seal, I'm not going to go into detail, but when they speak about the seal, they usually speak about the chosen, okay, that are sealed by the Holy Spirit. Okay, they get a mark and they are identified as God's own or whatever. Okay. So I don't belong to this church anymore. But something happened last year. Okay. I don't belong to this church anymore. I don't go there anymore. Because there were certain things that I didn't agree with on how they did things in the church, etc. So I left. We all left. And I decided, okay, I was going to expand my practice in tarot and go into astrology more and deeper, etc. And I did courses and all that. That was a few years ago. So In other words, I decided to invest in my tarot that I like put in the back burner because of the fact that my family didn't believe in stuff like this, okay, or condoned it. But something happened last year. Last year, this specific, I'm not going to mention names, this person contacted me on WhatsApp and asked me if um if they could move me to another congregation. And I said, no, that won't be necessary because I don't belong to the church anymore. That's closer to where I live. So this person said to me, which was the leader of the specific church that I used to belong to, he said, okay, then I needed to give a letter to say that I don't belong to the specific church anymore. And I was discussing this with someone that I know, and this person was also someone that used to belong to this church. And this person said, but they never asked me for a letter. They just never asked me for like a, it's almost like they asked me for a formal resigning letter. And no one that was previously belonged to this church ever got a request like that. They just ignored you. But for me, they came and asked me to formally leave, which tells me that there is some people out there that want to disassociate themselves from me because of what I chose for myself, okay? Because it goes against the grain of their teachings in their church. So this person asked me for a formal letter. I said, okay, I was going to give you this letter saying that you wanted it, but after I spoke to these few individuals, um, and they told me, but they never asked us for letters. Why do they ask you? I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to give you that letter. And if you contact me again, I don't know if you're watching this. You know who you are if you're watching. I'm not going to give you that letter. What you're going to do? I'm not going to give it to you. Because are you trying to be spiteful? You're trying to get back at me for something. It's not working. I know I'm going to get a lot of grief for this. I don't care. I really don't care. Do you see me caring? Do you? I don't give a fuck. I don't. Um, I've reached the stage, I mean, seriously, when you start to reach a phase in your life where you start to realize, you know what, I don't give a fuck what people think about me or how they feel, how they're going to react, okay? And these are all the type of experiences that you have when you're a divine female. It's like it's almost like want to personally shun you, okay? It's like they say, okay, you're a witch. You don't belong here. We're going to make you feel especially outshunned and make sure you don't interact with us anymore. And man, I don't want to. I don't want to interact with you. Why the fuck did I leave? Duh. Anyway, let's continue. So it's almost like, when I speak about the silly, it's almost like they want to take away the ceiling that I got from this church. How are you going to take it? You can cut my head off. That's the only way you're going to get that ceiling, if you kill me. Okay? When you sealed someone with the Holy Spirit, when you sealed someone with a divine blessing from God, you're going to make yourself really sick trying to sabotage that person. Okay, because you're going to get the raw and end of the deal at the end of the day. Okay, just remember that. And why I say this is, I said earlier in one of my posts on my community that when you interact with a divine female or you try to do certain things to her, okay, there are things that happen to you as an individual. And the people that interact with you, they know this. They may not admit it openly, but there are things that happen to people that interact with the divine female. Okay, maybe, say for instance, I'm going to try and make an example. Say for instance, you had an encounter with a divine female, and I've noticed this happen in my own life. I don't know about others, I'm speaking for myself here. It's like either people trying to sabotage me in some or other regard regarding my jewelry business or my channel or something that I said, okay, or whatever, I don't know. But I've noticed that it's almost like, I don't know how to explain this. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail. Let's continue, okay. Okay, what is next? Okay, like I said, your number 6 is no one can take it away. Like the seal that I spoke about, it's like they want to rob you of this, but they're not going to succeed because you already have it. Okay, so I don't know. Like I said, also, there are things that happen to people, and it's a direct consequence of them trying to sabotage you. Like instant karma basically happens to them. And then they ask themselves, what the hell? Okay, so the severity of this karma all depends on how you lead your life. Say, for instance, you try to overstep your boundaries with me. The severity of the karma that you're trying to put on me, or you're trying to get to me or get at me, is going to bounce back. It's like a boomerang thing. Okay, you throw the boomerang, but it's going to get back to you. But in the end, if it gets back to you, it's like a shock, or I don't know how to explain this. This boomerang effect has a negative effect on the individual that sent it out, basically, because it's returned back to them, okay? And usually I've noticed there's always something that happens to these individuals. Um, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to try and think of an example. Well, these people that watch this and that um which are also frenemies or whoever you are, you know exactly what happened to you. But even I can see sometimes when it happens, okay? It's like the universe also shows me in some or other regard, okay, this person did this, and this is the consequences of what they did to you. And you know what? They can dismiss it and deny, but it's the truth. I've witnessed it, and I don't want to mention names, but it does happen, okay? It does have an effect. I've noticed it firsthand when people try to basically, if you CK with me, something bad happens to them. Like literally something bad. They either get sick, okay, they get sick, um, and the symptoms usually is associated with a cold or something to that effect, fever, and also bad things happen to them. And it's because they try to mess with my energy, basically, okay? Anyway, and this is why you need to be careful when you around a divine female, and this is why a lot of people probably see the divine female as a witch, because it's not like that. It's almost like she has this protective divine protection around her. Not that she's immune to death or something to that effect. This is not what I'm talking about, but these just I don't know how to explain this. Is this divine protection that she has? Okay. Anyway. Okay. The other thing I also want to mention is I've mentioned that in my previous, I spoke about the Hermetic laws. I also mentioned about the laws of rhythm and vibration. Okay, the natural laws of rhythm and vibration. And I mentioned that everything is seasonal, and it's like a loop. It happens again, but the next time something happens, you're obviously more prepared and more resilient as the previous time. Okay, so it's almost like this quote that says it doesn't get life doesn't get easier, you get tougher. Okay, so what happens, what I've noticed is, sorry, there's a hair, one of my head is here on my face. Anyway, One of the things that I also want to mention is when you have certain experiences with individuals, it can be 1, 2, 4, it doesn't matter, okay? Usually in these circumstances where these individuals come into their life, into your life, they try to, because they have this dislike in you, okay, and later on you defend yourself, or you, how can I explain this? I'm trying to think of a way how I can explain about the karma playing out with people when they screw with me. I don't know how to explain this. It just happens, okay? I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain this. But what does also happen is it's like these individuals want to downplay your experiences that you had with him. In other words, it's almost like they want to dismiss what they did. They want to deny what they did. They, in other words, they downplay your experience that you had with him, or they try to put the ball in your court and make you feel. That's narcissistic tendencies, where they try to make you feel as if you're the one that has the problem, okay, when they the one that at the end of the day started the whole thing. So, and you just defended yourself basically, okay? And in the process of you defending yourself, it's almost like they want you to feel as if there's something wrong with you defending yourself. I need to tell you this. You need to do this. It's very important that you defend yourself, because no one else is going to do it. Okay, you have to stand up for yourself. Okay, so what else is there? The other thing I also want to mention as a divine female, divine females have this energy that they have about them. It's all, I can say it's a healing energy. It's like, I've been told this personally, okay, where people tell me that I've witnessed it to firsthand, that when I walk into a room, or maybe I go to people, visit people, or go in a room, the atmosphere changes. And I can remember there were instances where I walked into the room and it's like it lifted, whatever was there, it lifted. Because whether it was the times when I walked into church and I needed to go teach Sunday school, whether it was times when I did my facilitation work, where I worked with kids and I taught them about self-worth and stuff like that, or I worked with adults, okay, where I told them certain skills and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter in what way or capacity it happened. I always felt, when even people told me, every time you walk into a room, there's just this lightness, almost like, we're happy to see you. It's wonderful to have you here. It's a good feeling, in other words, that they get. Okay, I've witnessed firsthand one day that I've walked into a room. There was a young lady. She was like so ecstatic to see me. Okay, she was like jumping up and down, and I'm not lying, this actually really happened. So this is not me bragging, okay, about who I am, okay. I'm just telling you my experiences that I have. And if you're someone that has a healing energy, people automatically get drawn to you, or they gravitate automatically towards you, whether they're healthy or unhealthy individuals, okay, because you carry a certain specific energy that with you, that's healing, that's warm, that's inviting, that's nurturing, that's caring, okay, and people feel comfortable sharing things with you. It's almost like I can be a stranger. I've experienced this several times, sitting at a bus stop waiting for a bus to go home, or waiting for a train to go home when I was a student. and I would just sit there, and there would be somebody come sit next to me, and this person would just, this person would just start talking. And later on, this person would start talking personal things. And I would catch myself advising this person or this stranger, and we depart ways at the end of the day. But in the end, I left the person with something valuable, okay, that will make them feel as if they met a stranger and they feel good. Okay, I feel this is how the world should be anyway, is to be an impactful, decent human, for that matter, to impact people in a positive way. Okay, um, if you see me making jokes on YouTube or my memes, you should not take it personal, because no, none of my stuff is aimed at anyone in specific. I don't care who you are. I don't know you. We don't talk. I don't have friends. I don't have friends. I used to have friends, but I'm not friends with them anymore. But I keep to myself, and this is how I prefer it, because I want to keep my energy pure, and I don't want to allow anyone in. Okay, and if this is an issue for people, that's their problem. I will not allow you in if I feel there's something unhealthy about you, something toxic about you. That does not mean I do not want friends. That does not mean I do not want healthy connections with individuals. It just means I'm protecting my energy, and I have a right to do that. And so do any divine female, okay? And the other right that you also have the right to defend yourself, okay? Especially when people try to accuse you of things that are not true, or they try to box you, okay? Or uh, project, because this is something that happens a lot with me. People project a lot on me. They have issues with themselves, and they project on me, okay? I don't know how many of you experience this. So yeah, this is it, I think. Okay, the other near-death experience that I had, the first one I told you was the medicine. The second was when I had my son. Okay. And I wasn't even aware of this, because the doctors, the nurses, and my now ex-husband didn't want to tell me about it. It's only years later. But now when I look in retrospect at that moment when it occurred, okay, they told me years later you lost a lot of blood, and I was noticing there was like this thing with the blood. Okay, I did blood transfer. I lost a lot of blood, and I was on a drip, and they didn't want to tell me that I lost a lot of blood during the time that my son was born, my eldest. So in that specific period, although they didn't tell me, I did have a near-death experience in the hospital, where I almost like, I wouldn't say I didn't go in a coma. It's almost like a drowsy dream, like, lethargy. You're on medication. Okay, you're basically on medication, and you're like out of it, basically. And you also lost a lot of blood. So I had this dream and this experience here, and this is also when I got one of my names, etc. Okay, so is this it? This is basically it. Oh yes, I forgot, there's something else. The other thing I also want to mention, yeah, I don't know how many of you are aware of this. I don't know how many of you are aware of synesthesia, and if you know what synesthesia is, but I'm going to read something about it quickly. Can you just give me okay. So I think for people that maybe have used psychedelics before, or some type of form of psychedelic, like ayahuasca or shrooms, weed also is considered a psychedelic, but it's not that strong, okay? But it's still possible to have these experiences when you use weed. So a lot of people that don't use psychedelics, they do meditation, and they can also go into this trance-like state where they have these specific downloads or experiences, or they connect with supernatural beings, okay, and they have these experiences. But the reason why I'm going to talk about synesthesia now is this might be for some of you. Not everyone is going to have it. I have it, but it's not every divine female that is going to be blessed or have this ability, okay? So basically, I'm going to read to you so that you can understand what it means. So synesthesia is when your brain routes sensory information through multiple unrelated senses, causing you to experience more than one sense simultaneously. We all have 6 senses, okay? Some examples include, listen to this, and I know it's going to be very weird, but it does exist, and people like this do exist, okay? Some examples include tasting words or linking colors to numbers and letters. You also get people, they sneeze, and when they sneeze, they smell flowers, but there's no flowers nearby. Or the other thing is, the other mention that they have here, for example, you might hear the name Alex and you see green. Or synesthesia is when you hear music but you see shapes, or you hear a word or a name and instantly see a color. So this is what happens to me too. Okay, I cannot think of an example because it happens too many times and too often. What I think it was enhanced, probably the synesthesia thing for me was enhanced. When? Probably 5 or 6 years ago, like intensely, like really intensely. And a lot of people that consider themselves as psychics, anesthesia is the anesthesia anesthesia, oh my god, synesthesia um is the term or the thing, I don't know, for lack of a better word, that actually helps him to develop the psychic abilities better. So there's a lot of people that are psychic that have this. So in other words, say for instance, I'm going to try and make an example. Years ago, there was this program on television about a woman. She was a psychic and she helped people, the police for that matter, to track down missing children and stuff like that, okay, or murder. She solved murders. And what the police did, this police would bring her an object of this person, like a handkerchief or a lock of hair, or a photograph or something that this person had in their possession. Now some people or psychics believe that there is an energy of that specific person attached to that object, okay? It contains this person's energy, and if they touch it, they will be able to see certain experiences, okay? This you could call also, it helps them to enhance these types of abilities. You could also say that is also possibly a step of a synesthesia, okay? I'm not going to tell you what mine is. It's very personal. I want to try to think of an example that I'm going to use to show you what happened. Can't think of anything right now. Like, I want to give you an example of an experience that I had, that I had to apply the synesthesia, or how it happened or when it happened, but I can't think of anything. Okay. It's like, I just have this uncanny ability to connect the dots in certain things, okay, where other people might not be able to do it. I can see certain things that other people might not pick up. And as crazy as this may sound, I have this certain ability to hear things also that other people are not, might not be able to hear. And, well, this is just it. I'm not going to go into detail. Okay, I'm going to go into a little detail here. Okay, it says, why do people get synesthesia? Genetic. Many scientists agree that there is a genetic component to synesthesia. Synesthesia commonly occurs in families, and twin studies have even found genetic links between synesthesia and conditions like autism and schizophrenia. My son is autistic, okay, he's like that too. A single synesthesia gene has not yet been identified. Okay, a lot in the past they used to see synesthesia that there's something wrong with people, but it's not like that anymore. Okay, what color is seven synesthesia? Different synesthetes may see three in yellow, pink, or red. Such synesthetic colors are not elicited by many because two may be orange but two is blue, and seven may be red but seven is green. Okay. Okay, is synesthesia a form of autism? Although not specific to autism, synesthesia seems to quite be common among autistic individuals. So my son is on the spectrum. I think I've mentioned this before. Okay. And usually what they say is if a child is on the spectrum, there's one parent or both parents possibly on the spectrum. I haven't been diagnosed yet. I don't know about his dad, but one of us is. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not going to self-diagnose here. But I do have some very queer habits, so I might be. I don't know. Anyway, what I mean with queer habits is yeah, but it's nothing to worry about. Okay, nothing to worry about. It's nothing to worry about. Okay, so I think you should go into detail because they say a lot of things here about this. Okay, and this is it. Okay, this is. I just wanted to give you an overview as to my. Oh yes, this is the other thing. Can you just hold on a second? I want to pause quickly. I'm sorry. I just wanted to blow my nose quickly. Okay, so the signs and synchronicities that I spoke about, I see to you that as a divine female, you also, if you are in tune and you choose to walk this divine path, usually there are things that happen to you, strange, unexplainable things that happen to you on your path, okay? And you cannot explain it. Some people have experiences, and I think some divine females, I don't know what their life is like, okay? I don't know. Maybe some of the experiences that they have is not good, or maybe it's the perspective about this. I have no idea what this is. So I'm just talking for myself and my experiences since I started my journey, okay? So I can remember the signs and synchronicities the first time I was working. It was years ago, probably 10 years ago. And I was going through my divorce, and I was on my way to work, and there was this was the first time that this happened. There was this book lying there on the steps. It was a devotional book with daily scriptures in it, and I was in a very fragile state at that stage, and it helped a lot. Okay, it's almost like somebody placed it there because this person knew that I needed this, whoever this person is. I don't know who it is. It was just lying there. I'm usually the first one. I was usually the first one that was at work. Okay, and so this book was just lying there on the steps, and my mom has the book now. And then over the years, as I've made progress and evolved spiritually, these signs and synchronicities started to increase. So when my kids were small, I decided to start buying stuff and make stuff and sell stuff and so on, but I never actually formally registered my business, okay? But I did make money, and I even sold stuff at my daughter's school and so forth. But as time progressed, I would always get these signs, and I see these signs as ways that the universe communicates to you to tell you you're on the right path. Continue with what you're doing. Okay, so this is why it's very important that when you watch tarot readings, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. Take it however it resonates with you, because every person's experience is going to be different. um, Tarot is not forced down your throat. It's just there to give you guidance, a tool to help you navigate life, like I said on many occasions, okay? You should not take it up as rigidly, okay, as seriously. um, be serious about your life and being a decent human. That's all you need to do, okay? Anyway, like I said, the signs and the synchronicities of, okay, I'm going to mention a few. I can't, there's a lot that happened, okay? I'm going to mention maybe 2 or 3. Okay, there was, my children were very small. I had a job, and obviously when you have small children, you have a car payments, you have a bond, a house bond. You know what a bond is? A bond, okay, a house bond that you have to pay. You have monthly school fees, etc. There's not always extras, okay, for entertainment and to splurge on the kids, etc. Because there was always these extra things like medical aid, car payments, house bond payments, insurance and car insurance and household insurance and all those things, okay? So I can't even remember if I entered this competition or what happened, but I won money. Okay, it happened twice where I won money. Okay, that was the one incident. The other incident is when I formally decided to register my business. I went on this course, and I was walking up to this building, went in. The security woman sitting there, was her cubicle was like directly looking at the road, and you could see everything. So you, if you stand there, you will see everyone that passes by, okay? You cannot miss it because it's very open. And when I walked in, there was nothing, and I was the first one there. I don't like to come late to things, and I was the first one there. And when I walked in, there was nothing lying there. And I said to her, okay, I'm the first one here. The other people are probably still going to come. I'm going to buy me something to eat and a coffee, okay, because it was early in the morning, probably before 8. So I went to a nearby shop, okay, and she asked me, okay, seeing that you're going to a shop, will you buy me something? Because I was here the whole night, the security at this building. I said, okay, fine. And she gave me a money, and I walked around. It was very near. It wasn't necessary to take a car because it's just around the corner. And as I walked out the same way that I came in, there was this, I don't have it here. I was looking for it the whole morning. I want to show you what I still have it. I just don't have it with me. I don't know where the hell I put it. But it's an earring. It almost looks similar like this. Let's see here. I don't have a similar earring. Oh my gosh. But it's an earring, okay, like a pearl earring. It's a pearl like this. I just want to show you that. It's almost like a pearl like this, okay, like this, pearl like this, and a bigger one, and then a bead in it, and an ear hook and so forth. Very simple design, very simple, but it was lying there, just lying there. And I thought to myself, but there was nobody walking past. Nobody walked past here while I was standing there talking to her, and I didn't see anyone walk past. How the hell did this thing get here? And I picked it up, and I was so astounded because I thought to myself, an earring, and I'm coming here for training, and I have a jewelry business. Wow. It's almost like I went to this workshop. The workshop was there to improve me on handling my business, finances, etc., and give me advice and tutor me and so forth. And I got this earring and it was lying there and it wasn't there before. And I saw it as a good omen. The universe telling me, okay, you're on your way. You're on the right path, basically. Okay. And as time progressed, the incidences just became more and more and more, and I got more messages. And I don't have the earring with me, but I do have this. I have other stuff too that I picked up. This is one of them. This is a silver. It's still broken. Okay. This is also something that I picked up, also on my way to somewhere. And this is, let me see here. This is a leaf here, a leaf, and it's a heart with a little tree, almost like a tree of life, but it's in a heart. Okay, I don't know if you can see here. I want to show you. My fingers are so ugly because of the, can you see here? It's almost like a tree of life, and this here is almost like a little, it's silver, real silver. Okay, so this was also lying there, and as time progressed, the signs became more and more frequent. Okay, so it's almost like and apart from that, things would happen, like, say for instance, I had a thought of an individual, and then I got an email from that person, or a text message, or stuff like that. Okay, simple stuff like that. That was the type of, so these are the type of things that happen to you when you are divine female. Okay, you have all these types of experiences, these synchronicities. For you, it's going to be different. I cannot mention all of them, it's too much, but I thought I would just mention this to you. Anyway, I don't know what else to add. I don't know what else to add. There's nothing much to add. Anyway, I think this is it. It's 1 hour and 7 minutes already. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for just being amazing. I love you, and please take care. Bye.